Hello ladies, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending what time of the day you're watching this video. So I hope you're having a good day. So on this video, I want to talk about how dating can be a mirror to yourself and to your energy and to your wounds and to the work that you need to do, the inner work that you need to do in yourself. So I'm doing this video because there was some ladies on the feminine energy on the feminine energy group on Facebook. They were commenting about how they are dating and they feel so angry sometimes with how men are and how men treat them, and they end up lashing out at men they don't even know, they never saw, just online, or maybe they had a first date or one or two dates and they end up lashing out at them or telling them off and etc. And then they next the guy and then we'll meet someone else and the same will happen, etc. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about. So dating, the phase of dating, regardless if you meet men online or offline, it's a mirror. It can work as a mirror that will show you all the work, all the inner work, all your wounds, all your patterns, that you still need to work on yourself. So you will feel triggered. That's how you know I have work to do. It's when you feel triggered. So because if you are in your healed feminine, if you are in your healed self, you won't feel triggered, especially by people, especially online. If you're using dating apps, talking to men online, you won't feel triggered. You might feel like, okay, this is not for me, this is not what I'm looking for, but you won't feel triggered. You won't feel angry. You won't feel like irritated. If you feel that, it's a sign that you need to address. There's something that you need to address in yourself. It's not so you need to shift the focus from other people, from those men, and shift it to yourself. Because until you address that, until you acknowledge and address that, you will continue to manifest certain patterns. You will continue to manifest certain types of men or certain types of behavior, because it's the universe telling you, hey, there's something you need to look at in yourself, right? Because when you are in your healed self, as I was saying, you won't feel triggered, right? You just acknowledge, okay, this is not for me, this is not what I'm looking for, and you tell them, in a kind way, sorry, we're not compatible, it's not what I'm looking for, I wish you well, goodbye, etc. So you won't feel the need to lash out or tell men off or etc. So if you're doing that, it's because maybe you had certain situations on your past that aren't healed, that you haven't addressed. There are certain emotions associated with the situations that you have been in the past that you haven't dealt with. You haven't made peace with yourself. So that's why this is coming up. And that is why dating, it's such a great experience for you to show you, to be a mirror, to show you what you need to work on yourself, right? That's why a lot of people, they tend to tell you, when you're having bad experiences in dating, oh, maybe take some time off, don't do any dating, focus on yourself, etc. And yes, sometimes we need to do that, absolutely, because a lot of women, the focus is not on themselves, the focus is on men, is on others. So you need to learn to shift the focus to yourself, because you are the main character of your life. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important one of your life. So you need to shift the focus from men and from others into yourself. So sometimes you have to take a break from dating and just be with yourself. Just focus on yourself, focus on your life, absolutely. But also there comes a time when dating can also be of service to you, right? Because if you are just with yourself, not dating, not meeting anyone, if you are just with yourself, there are certain patterns, there are certain things that you won't acknowledge. You will think that, oh, I'm so fine, I'm at peace with myself, I am such in a good place, but it's because you're not being triggered. It's because you are not, putting yourself out there, as they say. You are in your comfort zone, right? So, but we don't grow in our comfort zone. The time for you to be with yourself, it's more to learn to focus on yourself, and yes, to be at peace, to be happy in your life, and to create this beautiful life and beautiful, peaceful life. So you don't accept anything that is going to move you away from that peace, move you away from the happiness, is going to bring you down, so that you are solid in your life. But you won't have experiences that will show you what you still need to work on yourself. You won't have that mirror effect. So dating is not just to find the right man or just to find a relationship. It's also a great tool, for you to learn about yourself, to learn, to grow, to work, do your inner work, etc. And yes, absolutely, you have to shift the focus to you, and you have to have total responsibility and acknowledge and accountability for what's happening with your reactions, with what's happening with yourself, because you have to heal that part of you that feels the need to lash out, feels the need to tell men off, etc., etc. You need to heal that, because probably that comes from when you were a child, when you were a teenager, when you weren't, your parents maybe didn't listen to you, you weren't heard, your emotions weren't validated, what you feel weren't validated. So you learn how maybe to bottle up all those things, and then they will come out only when you are just at your limit, very angry, or you feel the need that you need to lash out, you need to shout at people, you need to tell them off in order to be heard. Those are all patterns that, you need to work on if you want to have a healthy relationship, right? Because believe me, the patterns that you have in dating with men you don't know, they will come out later in a relationship. Because in the beginning you might think, oh, I met this wonderful man, he treats me so right, he treats me properly, he's so good to me, etc. But things won't always be perfect, right? They can be the right man, but he's not perfect. People mess up sometimes. And what's going to happen when he messes up, right? Are you going to be lashing out? Are you going to be shouting? Are you going to be, doing all those things? Because I can guarantee you, if you don't work on yourself, it will come out. These patterns of behavior, it will come out eventually. And no one likes to live like that. No, it's not even I'm not talking about how the man is going to feel. I'm talking about how you're going to feel, right? Because no one likes to do this. No one likes to be in this kind of negative energy, right? So if you are feeling this, it's time to acknowledge that, those men that you are meeting, that you are dating, that you are meeting, are not the ones who hurt you in the past. They are not the same ones. They are not the ones who did you wrong, who treat you wrong. They are not the same, right? You might feel like there's a similar pattern. That's why you feel triggered. But just but you have to stop taking things personally, right? You have to stop taking things personally, and you have to start having boundaries. And because boundaries, it's not for others. Boundaries is for yourself. So if you want to live a happy life, you have to live a peaceful life in your feminine energy. You have to start putting boundaries. And putting boundaries doesn't need to, you don't need to lash out. You don't need to be angry. You don't need to tell people off in order to put boundaries. Because if you are doing that, it's because you already, too far. You've gone too far already, right? Because you can tell people your boundaries in the kind and respectful way and see how they react, right? Because most of the problems that women have with men in relationships, they come from in the past they didn't have standards and they didn't have boundaries. They didn't put boundaries. They accepted many things. They ignored the red flags. They accepted many things they didn't like, and things went too far, and etc. So now it's time to learn how to put boundaries in a healthy way. So and you do that by simply saying how you feel, what do you want, in a normal way, without letting your emotions control the situation. You just, become like unbothered. You just become neutral. You come to a neutral place and you don't take things personally. And you just tell them how you feel, how you want, how you prefer, and just see how they react. Because the right one will respect your boundaries. If they don't respect your boundaries, if they make fun of you, of your boundaries, or they try to push your boundaries or try to ignore it, then it's not time to lash out. It's not time to tell them off. It's just time to leave, right? Just tell them, right, we're not looking for the same thing, or goodbye. Or if they are disrespectful, you don't even need to say anything. Just remove yourself. Just leave. And I think there's a lot of women, they don't realize is that they can leave. They don't have to engage. They don't have to respond. They don't have to interact when someone is pushing your boundaries or someone is being disrespectful. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain why you prefer this way or you prefer that way. You don't have to be apologetical about your boundaries. You don't have to do any of that. You can just leave. Just remove yourself and leave, right? And this is how you grow, and this is how you heal as well, is by don't give your power away. Don't give your power away to just some random people on the internet, right? That if you're using dating apps, if you're meeting people on dating apps, but even offline, it's the same thing. Don't give your power away to people you barely know, because this also comes from the need of you to change that person, right? To change that person, to make them what you want, to make them respect you. But that's not who these people are, right? You cannot change other people. You cannot change others. You can only change yourself, right? So let them be what they want to be. Just you don't care. Become unbothered. Let them go. Release them into the pond again, right? So you stay in your soft feminine energy. You stay in your peaceful, joyful energy, right? And this is a decision. This is a decision you make. And how do you do this? You do this with practice. That's how you do this, because you've been practicing, lashing out, being angry, telling men off. That's the pattern. That's what you have been practicing. Now you have to start practicing something different, right? It's like everything in life is. If you want different results, you try different approaches, you try different tactics, different strategies. So that's what you need to do, right? You need to start doing things differently, right? So you have different results, and you will have times you still feel angry, you still lash out, and you have to forgive yourself, and you have to just lean back. When you feel like you're very angry, don't respond. Just lean back, take some time, and then come back and respond, or don't respond, just leave, etc. And just you start practicing doing different. And this is how you start healing as well. You start changing your patterns, right? Because you need to have boundaries with yourself as well. Because when you are lashing out at people, especially people you don't know, you are not having boundaries with yourself. And you need to have boundaries with yourself as well. You need to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to behave this way because it's not good for me, right? It's not just about what others feel, what others want. It's about you. This is not good for me. It doesn't feel good in my body. So I'm going to do different. I'm going to start doing different, because that's how you heal. And that's how you stop attracting those men who don't respect your boundaries or have certain patterns of behavior. Because as you start doing different, right, you don't need those triggers anymore. You're right. So you're not in that same energy anymore. So the universe will stop bringing you those people because you not need them anymore. You start bringing other types of people who are more respectful, who are more, in a match to what you truly want, a match to a healthy relationship. But you need to become that healthy person before, right? Because if you want a conscious man, if you want a respectful man, you need to be a conscious woman. You need to be a respectful woman. So you need to become the things you want, right? You want the things you want to attract, you have to become them, right? If you want a kind man, if you want, you need to be kind yourself, right? That's how you become a match, right? Because of course you are in your feminine, you want a man in his masculine. So I'm not saying you have to be the same in everything, because you will be the feminine with the masculine, or but that's for another video. What I'm telling is the values that you want in a relationship, the things you want in a relationship, in a man, you have to become them. So because you wouldn't want someone, you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone when you do, I don't know, something wrong, or you say something, you do a mistake or something, they will be lashing out at you, right? They will be angry at you. They will be telling you off. You wouldn't like that, right? So you need to change that in yourself. Start having standards, start having boundaries, and start putting your boundaries in a kind and respectful way. And if people don't accept them, then just remove as quickly as possible, so you become centered, you stay solid, you stay centered in your energy, you don't come out of your balance, right? And that's how it. So dating, it's a mirror. We learn so much about ourselves in dating, because it's one of the we also learn with our relationships, with friendships, and at work, clients, with co-workers. We learn a lot, but we learn so much in dating, because it's one of the places where we become really triggered, and it's our the work we need to do in ourselves becomes so evident, so clear. So use that to your advantage, right? Instead of complaining, I cannot manifest good men, where are all the good men, blah blah blah, etc. Start using dating as a tool, right? As a tool for your growth, as a tool for your own healing. Because I can guarantee you, if you do your inner work, the quality of men, the type of men you attract, you will become very, very different, because you are being different, right? And I'm gonna tell you this: even if you find a good man, but a respectful and good man, but if he does something you don't like, when it's up to your expectations, and you lash out at that man, I can guarantee you, your response won't be very good as well. You won't stay, because good, healthy men, quality masculine men, they have boundaries as well. They have standards and they have boundaries, and they don't want a woman treating them that way, because those men, the men who accept women who treat them that way, are when they're also wounded, right? So if you don't want a man who is wounded, if you want a man who is a healthy masculine, you cannot treat them that way, right? Because they won't treat you that way either, right? They don't accept women who treat them that way, and it's good for them, because they shouldn't, right? So so use dating to your advantage, instead of complaining about men, or complaining about dating, or complaining about dating apps, or about how dating is nowadays, blah blah blah. Just use it as a tool for your growth, and see how much the difference is going to make. So let me know in the comments what you think, and have a good day. See you next.